What if I told you that your constant thinking is the very thing that's holding you back from living a fulfilled life? Have you ever felt like your mind is constantly racing, filled with endless thoughts that keep you from truly experiencing life? Ever feel like your brain just won't shut up? Do you feel like you're stuck in a never-ending loop of thoughts that keep you from enjoying the present moment? What if I told you that the key to happiness and clarity lies in understanding how to quiet your mind? Alan Watts, one of the greatest philosophers of our time, believed that our incessant inner dialogue disconnects us from reality. Today, we're breaking down Alan Watts' top tips for silencing that mental chatter and reconnecting with the world around you. Trust me, this could change everything. Do not think too much, Alan Watts. A person who thinks all the time has nothing to think about except thoughts. So he loses touch with reality and lives in a world of illusion. Now, you might be wondering, if thinking isn't the problem, what is? Stick with me, because we're about to uncover the real issue and how societies have fallen into the trap of overthinking. He refers to thoughts as the incessant inner dialogue within one's mind, the constant repetition of words and mental calculations. It's not that thinking itself is inherently negative. Like any tool, it serves its purpose when used judiciously. However, when overindulged, it can become detrimental, dominating our lives rather than serving us. Many societies, in their pursuit of progress and sophistication, have drifted into madness and self-destruction by losing sight of reality. This occurs when we mistake abstract constructs like language, symbols, and concepts for the tangible world around us. For many of us, the allure of money outweighs the value of true wealth. We find that a significant experience lacks fulfillment unless it's captured in a photograph. And even more satisfying is reading about it in the news afterward. This disturbing trend leads to a catastrophic consequence. By mistaking abstract symbols like bank balances and legal agreements for real wealth, we're wreaking havoc on the natural world. Our preoccupation with material wealth has dulled our senses to the point where we're oblivious to the degradation of our environment, the polluted air, chlorinated water, and the unsightly human-made landscape. It's high time we awaken from this collective slumber. Reality defies precise definition through words or concepts. It transcends mere material or spiritual notions. It simply is. It's akin to the sound of a gong. We intuitively grasp its essence but struggle to articulate it. Similarly, we inherently understand how to regulate our bodily functions, like heartbeat and bone formation, without being able to explain the process. So, how do we connect with reality amidst the chaos of our thoughts? The answer might surprise you. It's not about forcing your mind to be silent. Intrigued? Engaging with reality involves the practice of meditation, known as yoga, in India, Chan in China, and Zen in Japan. This art entails quieting the mind, silencing the constant inner dialogue. Attempting to forcefully silence the mind is futile. It's akin to trying to smooth ripples on water with an iron. Clarity and calmness emerge naturally when the mind is left undisturbed. Do you ever feel like life is just a series of problems to be solved? What if I told you that's a complete illusion? Alan Watts challenges us to see life differently, and the implications are profound. The notion of the problem of life is a perplexing one, especially when viewed through the lens of our common understanding. Life, in its essence, is not inherently problematic, yet we often perceive it as a series of challenges to be overcome. From the moment we awaken until we retire at night, we find ourselves entrenched in a perpetual struggle to unravel the mysteries of existence. For some, the conundrum may revolve around the purpose of the universe, while for others, it may concern more immediate concerns like sustenance. However, when we examine this notion closely, we encounter an audacious proposition that the very concept of life as a problem is illusory. It's similar to chasing after a ghost, a phantom that eludes our grasp. A hallmark of neurotic behavior is its repetitive nature. Individuals trapped in this cycle often find themselves reenacting futile patterns of existence without reprieve. The relentless pursuit of solutions to what appear to be insurmountable problems only serves to perpetuate this vicious cycle of birth and death, the rat race of life as we conventionally experience it. In truth, these perceived problems are not true problems at all. They are merely illusions that masquerade as challenges. Consequently, when we attempt to tackle these seemingly impossible questions, we find ourselves trapped in an endless loop, going round and round without ever reaching a resolution. Consider the myriad ghosts that haunt our minds. one prevalent notion is the instinct to survive, which many view as a driving force behind their existence. The fear of not surviving can fuel individuals to persevere in their daily endeavors. However, this perceived impetus to carry on working is yet another illusion, another ghost that we mistakenly believe compels us forward. What drives our daily actions? Is it really an instinct for survival? Or is it something else entirely? It's crucial to maintain a clear focus on the actions themselves, describing them accurately and comprehensively. By doing so, we may find that these ghosts, such as the instinct for survival, begin to dissipate. When we scrutinize the concept of an instinct for survival, we realize that it lacks substantial evidence beyond the observation that people generally survive until they do not. The question then arises: what becomes of this instinct when individuals cease to survive? In attempting to explain human behavior through the lens of such motivating forces, we merely project our own fears and uncertainties onto the world. There is no tangible evidence for the existence of these supposed driving forces. They are merely phantoms that we conjure to make sense of our experiences. When we attempt to describe anything, we often fall into the trap of assuming that it exists independently as an entity unto itself. This inclination stems from our ingrained perception of the world as consisting of material stuff that acts and behaves. However, upon closer examination, we discover that this notion of stuff is merely a sensation that arises when we haven't scrutinized things with sufficient clarity, or when our instruments lack the precision to discern finer details. For instance, consider a distant nebula in the heavens, which initially appears as a solid star until observed through a powerful telescope, revealing its intricate spiral pattern. Similarly, when we contemplate the shape of the human organism, we may assume that its form is solely maintained by the skin containing its organs. However, upon closer inspection, we realize that the surrounding air also plays a crucial role, exerting pressure on the skin to prevent the body from collapsing. As we delve deeper into this inquiry, we recognize that it's inadequate to attribute the maintenance of shape solely to either the organism or the surrounding environment. Instead, we begin to grasp the intricate interplay between the organism and its surroundings, a dynamic process described by Dewey and Bentley as a transaction. This perspective underscores the interconnectedness and mutual influence between the various elements at play, highlighting the fluid nature of reality. In the realm of relationships, it's essential to recognize the intricate interplay between buyer and seller, knower and known. Often overlooked is the fundamental truth that everything, animate or inanimate, exists within a web of transactional connections, not merely with specific entities, but with the entirety of existence. Human relationships, in particular, are multifaceted and intricate. Consider a person fulfilling the role of a doctor. They are not solely defined by their profession, but also by their roles as a parent, a citizen, and various other facets of life. Thus, we must envision individuals not in isolation, but as dynamic participants in a myriad of relational dynamics. Have you ever considered that everything, even relationships, exists within a web of connections? This perspective can change the way you see the world and your place in it. Hence, a misconception arises, crafting an illusion of an entity distinct from the multitude of relationships it engages in. This fallacy conjures the notion of an independent being, detached from its relational context. However, in truth, every individual is intricately intertwined with these relationships, inseparable from them. Our task is not to strip away these connections, but rather to comprehend the individual as a holistic amalgamation of their entire relational matrix. Therefore, one could perceive every organism as a manifestation of the dynamics within its environment. This perspective does not imply passivity or mere reactionary behavior to external stimuli. Rather, it underscores the organism's active engagement and influence within its surroundings. So, think about it. Organisms are really just another part of their environment. They're just one piece of the whole natural world, like everything else around them. Trying to separate them is kind of pointless. Instead of labeling things as actions and reactions, or winners and losers, we can simplify things by just describing what's going on. This gives us a clearer view of the world without all the unnecessary complications. And when we do this, we start to understand that life isn't some big problem to solve. It's not a battle between us and our surroundings. That whole idea is pretty much bogus. By now, you might be seeing things in a new light. But the most important, it's how we apply these insights to our daily lives. I hope you find these insights from Alan Watts thought-provoking. So, think about it. Life isn't a battle between us and our surroundings, but a dynamic, interconnected experience. What are your thoughts on this? Do you agree, or do you think there's more to it? What are your thoughts on the idea that life isn't a problem to solve, but rather an experience to embrace? Do you agree, or do you think there's more to it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll catch you in the next one.